welcome to tonight's call, or today's webinar. This is a gifted webinar for our community. We will be doing healing guidance for humanity through COVID, through Ascension and transformational change. So I want to give you the overview of the flow of the call. I'm going to give you some information for the first approximate 45 minutes. Then we're going to do about maybe 20 to 30 minutes of healing. So you'll understand why the healing is that we're doing the healing that we're doing it on. First, I'm going to give you content about what's really happening on Earth from a Lightworker visionary perspective and related to the Ascension timeline. Then we'll do healing for ourselves and for humanity based on what we're allowed to do and able to do for the collective to help them through this time as it's related to what's going on. Then after we do that healing part at the end, I think I was told we're going to be doing a meditation. I was told and downloaded what it is. I do not actually know it. I have not done it before, but I think it's going to be awesome. If we do it, there will very likely be channeled information. I've been told that there's a lot of consciousness. I have my team and the team of the collective that joins us, so that will come through. If you're new to me and you don't know me or you're unfamiliar with this, if you're brand new to this topic area, please allow yourself to be an innocent child who knows nothing and is willing to learn and willing to consider the possibilities. If you feel lost by some of the languaging, if you happen to be brand new to me or to this topic of Ascension or third wave or any of the languaging I use, or if you're just brand new overall because you're on the internet and you found it on Facebook or someone shared it, you don't have to understand it mentally. The way this stuff works is it will serve you just by being a willing listener and not even needing to understand it or any of it. It will integrate and you will start knowing this stuff as if you knew it all along. I mean, it's gradual at first and more. So if you're brand new, please don't quit before the miracle. Stay with it, okay? And because I know there are very likely brand new people here. And so I welcome you. I welcome all of you here, and I thank you so much for joining and for participating, and I'm so happy to be with you. For those of you who don't know me, of course, my name is Spagna, and I'm an Ascension guide and a healer, a change agent, a way shower, Starseed, lots of labels, animal lover, animal communicator, spiritual diehard. Okay, so we're gonna get underway with what's really going on humanity here from a Lightworker, Starseed, visionary, transformational change agent perspective to assist people in really expanding into what's happening. Before I do, I just got a shout out. I got a shout out to one of the nicest, most incredible letters I have ever gotten. It just was so incredible. It comes from Justine. I won't say her last name, but I just have to read this. I was crying when I got this. She said, "Hi, Lori. I'm going to cry again. I have followed your work for nearly 2 years now, and I wanted to send you a much heartfelt thanks for helping me to change my life. You're such an inspiration to me." And you can't believe what this woman's doing. She said, "I love the truth and authenticity in your teachings. I love the honesty and the high vibe. I love the blending of left brain and right brain. I love watching you. You are so natural behind the camera." That's so nice. "And so easy and effortless to watch. I love witnessing the channeling and really listening to the words that come through. It's literally life transforming to hear the phrase infinite solutions and all the systems that are in place for our ascension. I just love you so much, and I love your teaching so much. I work in a busy acute hospital in the UK. I have gone through the whole course, which has been completely overtaken by C virus chaos this last week. I have pretty much held my power because of your fantastic teachings on reclaiming your power. I have gone through the whole course again this weekend. She took the course I just did on reclaiming our power, which couldn't have been more timely. I'm using the 3D to maximize my ascension. I'm determined to do the work. I'm determined to find every thought, emotion, and behavior that holds me back. I relish the challenge, but I could not have held this power without your help. When I listened to the course today, I had two huge realizations. Sorry. I had two huge realizations that suddenly hit me, which I had missed before. Fantastic. Lori, you're a gift to humanity. No doubt how much we love, never doubt how much we love, value, and appreciate and acknowledge you. I just know that with your guidance, we will get through this and I will be able to bring my two young children along with me. I've signed up for your next course and I'm about to join your sacred membership. Lori, you have changed my life. I love you so much. Sending you so much love, Justine. I just thank you so much, Justine. That's like incredible. Okay, so people are already writing the meeting's full and they can't get in. I hope they'll find it. I don't have an assistant right now, so we reached max capacity. Anyway, I want to say thank you, Justine. I don't know if you're on the call, but wow, that just can't tell you how much that touched my heart. So these tears to my eyes. Thank you. Gratitude. You know, angels work for gratitude. They don't have to deal with the monetary system. Okay. I hope these people will realize I don't have an assistant on right now. I can do a really quick email to them. If I'm able to, really fast. Give me 2 more seconds to get to these people because we're on overflow. So yeah, we maxed out on space. I guess they give you 10 extras just in case, huh? There's a lot of people emailing that they can't get in. I'm sorry. Okay. All right, so let's start. Let's first understand what is happening here. And again, I just want to reaffirm, if people do not, there it goes. If people don't understand this language, just sit through it, just be with it, just practice being still, because that's what we're meant to do now. What's happening is that humanity reached what we call the tipping point, or the 100th monkey, or the overflow. So essentially what's happened is right now you're getting the ripple effect of what Lightworkers and Way Showers and the Ascension tribe has been doing for at least 60, 70, 80, 90, 2000, 60 years, sorry. So Lightworkers and Way Showers and Starseeds, the Indigo family tribes. If you don't know what that is, you can go to my website and get the free gifted class and ebook on that at lorispagna.com/free-gifts/Starseed. And the Indigo family tribes, we've been working on this for now since the 60s. And we reached the tipping point. So think of it, when I say we reached the tipping point, think of it from the perspective of if sorry, I'm still trying to tell people the overflow. If you have a full glass, if you're filling up a glass, think of a glass. If you're filling up the glass of water with love and peace, neutrality, and consciousness, let's just say, those are ascension vibes, and it eventually reaches the top, it begins to overflow. So the overflow is now happening to humanity, for humanity. So what that is doing basically, in a sense, is pushing up any density out of the glass that might have been in there before. And that density is basically what we call unconsciousness. We can use the word ignorance, but that's not really the same thing, because that's not the, I'm being told that's not the right word for this in this case. We'll say unconsciousness. So essentially, from a 0 point, we've reached what we call a 0 point, or we've reached a place of divine neutrality, where it could also, you could say, a convergence point. That's true too. But this particular convergence point is pure neutral. And it's where there's no more division between what we call timelines. So if you don't understand timelines, I would refer you, and some of it will come out in this call. I'll explain some of it, but if you don't understand timelines, the best place to learn about it, there's a full class in my Sacred membership on the website under Sacred membership. Full course, two back-to-back full courses, explains it. And those go back a few years, but it's completely relevant to what's happening right now. So we could also call this the third wave of ascension. And this is the tipping point where the collective basically gets triggered to wake up. And so what you want to realize is that everything going on in the external reality is just a distraction from what's really happening here. What's really happening is you're being asked, we're all being asked to choose our future. And not everybody will experience the same future. In fact, not everybody's experiencing the same experience now. And based on whatever you're believing and perceiving and buying into, your future is revealing itself to you right now, and also will continue to reveal itself. And when I pause, I'm also asking for guidance, because I get overview of what we're meant to do, but I also, it's always in flow with my own guidance of what's been for the call. So the timeline or future that you vibrate into, will be the experience that is revealing itself to you in a sense on the world stage, and also in a sense in the years to come, and for really ultimately for the rest of your life. And this is what we call a timeline. And this is also what we vibrate in harmony energetically, how we vibrate in harmony with what we experience. And when we say vibrate in harmony, two people fighting war are vibrating in harmony. Two people screaming and fighting, that's a harmonious vibration. Hate vibes with hate. Love vibes with love. Peace vibes with peace. So fear vibes with fear. Anxiety vibes, and all those frequencies, right? They vibrate in harmony together. Fear-based realities vibrate in harmony with other fear-based reality. And peace and love-based realities vibrate in harmony with love-based realities. So right now, the division between these realities at this 0 point has been completely lifted. And what has been pushed up to the surface is all density, all heaviness, all dross, and there's no place to hide. It's right in your face. So whatever fear-based reality or whatever you're dealing with or facing or believing or perceiving what's in front of you, that's where you're vibrating at. And hopefully in this moment, since you're here, you're vibrating in love and peace and unity consciousness. So we're going to come back to this concept of timelines and vibrational alignment, because that's a huge part, but we're going to table it temporarily. And we're going to talk about what's showing up for the collective that we're all somehow or another witnessing, so that we can resolve it collectively for ourselves and collectively. So we're going to come back to this concept of what we vibrate in harmony with. So let's talk about the major themes that have come up from the density. So there's so much I can cover on this. So the major themes that we're addressing right now, first, let's talk about this idea of a global pandemic and a global virus. Please know that what we're being told in the mainstream media is all misinformation. There really is, for the most part, almost nothing that is trustworthy, reliable, or true on the mainstream media, unfortunately. And this is something that's come through the channeling, a couple of recent channels I did, that I'm just going to say it. If anything makes you feel afraid, it's a lie. This is the law of truth came through in a recent channel in one of the calls I did. You may have seen it. And it basically said, if it makes you feel fearful, trust that it is a lie. And if it makes you feel somehow uplifted or elevated, trust that it is a truth or a fact. Also, what was said is not to ignore the fear, but to use it instead as a teacher, rather than something to resist or judge or be afraid of. So let's dissect this concept of pandemic virus. This was fed to me for our call. So if I'm looking to my notes, it's more because I'm asking, as I look, where do I begin? What do you want me to start with? And okay, I'm being told, before I go into that, I want to address something, right? I'm being told that's in the Lightworker community right now that's just really massive. And that is this idea that the light is fighting the dark. Or even that, hi to everyone on the on the recording part only. So thank you guys for coming to the recording part. Sorry, our video maxed out. Okay, so the idea that the light is fighting the dark is inaccurate. The light has already won. But depending on where you're vibing in harmony with, you may see or perceive it that the light is fighting the dark. That is not what's happening at all. The light has already won, so to speak. But it depends on where you're vibrating. Also, what's really important to understand is that the idea or the concept that there are still any sort of teams. So that somehow truthers, and I'm a truther, believe or perceive that the dark agenda or deep state, if you're not a truther or if you don't understand conspiratorial movements, that's okay. What's more important is that you understand that that will play out, and the truthers will, of course, you're going to see conspiracy out the door, just off the charts over the course of the next year, especially once the South Node moves into Sagittarius, which is telling us to let go of everything we thought was true. There's going to be a whole year of that, and that doesn't even start until May. So there's not a wrongness that all that conspiracy stuff is no longer going to be a theory. It's all going to come out. But the idea that the light is winning, no, all that is everything that's been ever untrue is going to come out. There's nowhere to hide. So the idea that we could fall back into controlled society, that would only be a time space reality, if this makes sense. So bear with me, I'm going to come back to that, but I just want you to understand there's no us or them any longer, and there is no good or evil battling it out any longer. That's not really what's happening. And I want to address one other position that's very, very huge in the Lightworker community, is that somehow the world needs to be saved, or we have to save them. And that is not true. And if you're operating from that perspective, that is a very dark, it's a very low vibe, that somehow the world is going down some kind of Armageddon timeline, which we've been clearing that stuff from the DNA. We will clear that in the DNA class. I was not told that we were going to do that here. And but we will in our DNA call, which is on 444. Oh, I do have to address the 444 portal. That's really important. I didn't put that down in the notes, but because I already knew it. So the world is not going to a hell in a handbasket unless people are aligning with that reality. But we're at a zero divine neutrality point. That does not at all. That is not what's happening. Not really. The world is not ending. The world's not coming to an end. It's nothing like that. We have reached the true birth of the age of Aquarius. You could say that. But really what it is we've come into oneness, unity, and everything that's dense or heavy is being lifted to the surface. Okay, so I hope this is making sense so far. Let's go into, there's no two sides. The world's not going to hell in a basket. We do not have to be saviors. If you think you have to save the world, you need to clear the savior programming. And we'll get to that a little bit because that is on the notes. I'm just making a highlight to come back to it. Okay, let's go to this pandemic thing. Let's go back there. So what the pandemic virus is showing us, in a sense, and all of the major things we're witnessing on the global stage, we're going to break this down. And bear with me because it's like translating what is being revealed on the world stage so we can understand it from the Lightworker visionary perspective. So the first thing we want to address is the concept of a virus. And the concept of a virus energetically breaks down to the idea of killing yourself. In other words, feeding off the host until its death. And the concept of extinction, the concept of fear of death comes in there. Virus is something that a virus energetically has no nucleus. It's not a regular cell. So therefore, the nucleus is the brain of the cell. It's also, in a sense, the operating center. It could be perceived as the heart of the cell, maybe, even though there's no heart. In other words, it's the life that keeps a cell alive. A virus has no nucleus. It has no real life of its own. In our society, a virus, a thing that takes over, that has no life of its own, that cannot support its own life without a host, that's a virus, is also what we could define as an artificial intelligence. We also know that, at least to the best of our knowledge at this time, there was an origination linked to China, and we could identify that country not from a human perspective, but rather from a visionary perspective as an organizer or birther of technology, which could be linked. Mystical realm here, we're talking visionary. No, nothing, it's not about people. This is a concept for us to understand and unpack. Artificial intelligence. So we understand that what the virus is bringing up is concepts of feeding off of our host. Who is our host? Mother Earth. We, one another. Vampirism. We have been feeding off of each other. Our whole system, all the systems that we use, our monetary system, our government system, this is worldwide, our financial system, I said that, our healthcare system, pharmaceutical drugs especially, our schooling systems, especially when you get into higher education, they're all, our media system, they're all forms of a virus feeding off of us. And we're all part of it, where we have been killing ourselves, in a sense, killing our host without a brain, a hive mind, without heart, without love, without care. And bringing it to such an extreme that we would kill our own selves. Now, this would be linked into, of course, artificial intelligence and the fear of artificial intelligence. This would be linked into suicide and suicide programs where we kill ourselves. And this would be linked into on an unconscious level. So stay with me because we're dissecting this at a very high level. Fear of death. Now, we also know that because the virus, and just pausing, and of course, Mother Earth, right? Because we have been, in a sense, feeding off of Mother Earth, her natural resources, and that includes oil industry. I have to make a note because as I'm speaking, my team is giving me a lot of information, very chatty here. Sorry. This is how it comes in when I'm doing this kind of stuff like this. I have really good guidance coming in for us. So, okay, that's the way it comes in for me. So they give me a download on what we're going to hear incessantly during the whole process. Just that's really fun. All right, so these issues of this virus are things that are in the collective unconscious that must be resolved. Can we understand this? That the virus is our teacher of what's going on in the collective, in a sense, of what, if we were to support the collective in its elevation, our healing and resolution of this will transform the external experience. Even though it's already been transformed, we're at 0 point. We're already at 0 point. We're already in divine neutrality. Okay, so far, I hope this is making sense. So all these key issues we've just talked about is part of the healing, right? What we need to resolve individually and collectively. Now, virus, let's keep going with this. Because it's a capacity of the lungs and the mouth, we breathe it in, sorry, this area we breathe in, and goes through here and goes through chest, lungs. We're talking about these major chakra points, throat chakra and heart chakra. So throat chakra is our trust, our authenticity, our ability to speak freely, our ability to breathe safely. Lungs, heart center is love and compassion, of course we know, and care. And lungs, by the way, what other two that I'm aware of, two other key areas, oh, another piece of guidance here. There's so much information. What other two key areas have we already witnessed that have to do with the lungs of Mother Earth where they were being killed? Brazil, actually, California, if you include California. Massive fires. Brazil, the fires in Brazil earlier this year or last year, that's the lungs of the planet, are the trees. And Australia, the lungs of the planet. So we were careless. It's no judgment here. We're just translating this. We're dissecting the information as best as we can as what's being presented to us from consciousness, from the collective, through what's on the world stage. We, therefore, were not recognizing the importance of our lungs. Mother Earth was out of harmony and showing us, hey, these are my lungs and I need to breathe. Now, also, when we get into the lungs, it translates, and breath, the ability to breathe, the collective unconscious translates that as the inability, or sorry, a belief system that I don't deserve to live. So in the collective consciousness, we're dealing with extreme worthlessness, unworthiness, and the overall glooming belief system that we have had to address and have to address, in a sense, of this deep unworthiness. And that the bulk of humanity is completely unconscious of this. And anyone who has ever had money problems, this is an issue for you, right? If you've had ever, anyone, any of us. So This is what's being asked to be addressed and healed and resolved. Lungs, worth, value, self-love, self-care, trust, safety, and authenticity is in here. And the ability to express freely, safely. And the universe is showing us what needs to be healed and resolved for us so that we can resolve our issues as a collective. Understanding that they are really already resolved for those of us who are already fully anchored in the new paradigm, and understand that nothing needs to be healed or resolved, but we can offer these things in service and contribution to help, to support, to assist. Okay, I'm going to go on. I hope this is making sense. Yes, Notre Dame, I saw a comment in there. Notre Dame was also an example of that, although I would say Notre Dame was probably a little more specific to the Roman Catholic Church. Very interesting. If you look at the three major hubs, to the best of my knowledge, China, the United States, Italy. That is significant, and that will be more revealed on that. But I got to stay on what I'm here for. Okay, let's move on. So we also know that when we're dealing with survival issues, fear of death, suicide programs, understand every exit from humanity, there's no such thing as an accidental death. In the sense from the higher realms, every death is a suicide. Every death is a choice that happens to leave this paradigm of the physical world that we're living in. And that's very hard for us to see it that way sometimes. And it doesn't mean we don't love our loved ones, animals and humans alike. Of course we do. That doesn't mean we don't have compassion and care. Of course we do. It simply means from the visionary perspective, we understand that that being is ready to move on to another experience, and they're making a choice. So when we're dealing with that, suicide programs, well, I call them programs because they're operating in the unconscious. They're just running. Unless someone's consciously saying and choosing it, I'm ready to go. And it's not so unconscious for them. But most deaths are done more on an unconscious level by the bulk of humanity. What we're looking at in the collective that's related to this is a fear of death, survival issues, needless to say. And where does that originate? Base chakra, root chakra, which is connected to the buttocks and the feet, and buttocks down through the legs and the feet. And that is also, needless to say, connected to our connection with Mother Earth. Yeah? All right, so let's go on dissecting this. Going back to the heart center, we know we're dealing with blockages. Whenever there's dis-ease, we can see it as a perceived blockage. And because we're talking about what's on the collective landscape, it's affecting all of us personally and individually in whatever way we feel or perceive that on our personal landscape, in our personal lives. We're dissecting it from the collective perspective. It's up to us as individuals to dissect it more personally in our own lives, how it's showing up. Or if you want coaching, I will tell you, I'm doing a coaching call. I'll tell you about that. That's at my website at lorispagna.com under live events. And then we'll get into those who want to explore it personally and get personal healing and support and be able to ask me questions personally. You can join me for that. It's on the website under live events, 5-week Ascension channeled coaching and healing retreat. It's a 5-week call where people will be able to interact with me one-on-one on this for the next 5 weeks. And right now there's still the lowest reduced public rate of $395, right? You can register for that through 444 at the $395 rate and save $200. Okay, but needless to say, that's for help on the personal level, staying on the collective level. When we're dealing with these perceived experiences, we're talking about the perception of blockage. So in the new paradigm and at what we call the zero neutral, divine neutral, which is where we are, the tipping point, what we're talking about is perceived blockages. So the collective of humanity who's plugged into mainstream media most of the time, believing and perceiving what they're being told by the mainstream media and by their false authorities and false authority figures in the external world. I'm still trying to kind of help people with people who are telling me they can't get in. Sorry. When we're dealing with these perceived things in the external world, what we're talking about really is perceived blockages. So the blockages need to be cleared and resolved in the sense, even though in reality, it really is going to just drop away. But us light workers are doing the last bit of lifting and clearing that we can during the 2020 window. This is the final, what I call kind of like the final window before the train leaves the station, so to speak. It could bleed into 2021. I'm not quite sure yet. I'll know that more as linear time, as I get more guidance on it. So these perceived blockages, root chakra, heart chakra, throat chakra, are major blockages that need to be cleared as they relate to these topic areas we're discussing. I hope this makes sense. Now, a couple more things have to be addressed. Let's go to the brain and the hive mind, which is also linked to artificial intelligence and artificial information, false information, fake news, which is on the mainstream media. It's all fake, it's all staged. And when I say it's all fake, it doesn't mean people aren't dying, okay? What I'm saying is they're plugging into the frequencies that we just talked about. So when they plug into that frequency, because they're harmonious with that frequency and they're unconscious and they start going into these fear-based, this is a trap, it's a trap in a sense, but it's not, because it's all just gonna wash away. At the same time, for those who are becoming conscious and leveling up, which this year is massive awakening for humanity, which is why I'm doing this call. They're plugging into that, and I'm not saying that people aren't dying. I'm saying that they're plugging into, by the hive mind, artificial information. So the hive mind, which is linked to artificial intelligence, which is linked to giving your power away to a false authority, which in this case is the media. For those of you who did my class on giving your power away, it was like such a powerful class. It was so good. I thought it was, and I loved it. And I know a lot of you were on it. This is about us reclaiming our power, which is like so huge at this time, because it's never before has it been more important to reclaim your power on planet Earth. Never before has it been more important than it is right now. The hive mind and the brain, which this is another chakra, right? You got the brain chakra, your pineal gland, pituitary gland, third eye, ability to see clearly and know what's going on, 20/20 vision, ability to hear clearly and know what's really happening. Really important right now. What we're plugging into, and the most important thing that my guidance was telling me for this call to address is discernment, because the hive mind has no discernment. They're basically plugging into artificial information, false information, and fake news through the mass media, in a sense. They don't really know what's going on, and it's like this tunnel vision. It's a massive distraction that's trying to hook them into a false, what we call a false timeline. And they have a lack of discernment because they cannot tell truth from lie, fact from fiction. I use the word they in this case because I really do feel a separation from that in a sense. But I know that ultimately my team has been telling me more and more, say we, rather than they or you. Because I say a lot of times when I talk or speak, I'll say you, and it's just my delivery. But anyway, I think you get the message. So then what happens is you have a lot of second wavers, and I call second wavers people who are, really getting online and becoming more conscious and have been waking up to this, especially over the last years since 2012 in linear time, who see this happening and are believing that somehow they need to save the world. And that invokes the savior. And so we mentioned that earlier, this savior programming has to be resolved because there's no one to save except ourselves. Really, there's not even any saving to do because we're already here. We're already here. There's nothing to wait for. All there is becoming a stillness and a going within. So discernment is incredibly important. Now let's just go to this hive mind, artificial intelligence, our fear of artificial intelligence, our fear of being controlled, dominated, manipulated by an old patriarchal society, which has collapsed already. And they're just trying to uphold and make it seem like they have power. They really don't. I find that funny. I sort of laugh because it's like kids in a sandbox. They're just kids in a sandbox, right? And what's Donald Trump? That Donald Trump is a Gemini. Just kids in a sandbox, playing. Okay, so not that he's a bad guy, really. It's not a political comment, right? Please understand this is world stage. So let's come back to this hive mind concept and understand what this is about is not only where we give our power away, where we are disconnected from our true power, but it's also, it's an important piece here. The discernment, oh, thank you. What hasn't been said, that's meant to be said. It's the voice that came in my head, is self-sabotage. What is the deep state? If you're familiar with the term deep state, if you're a truther, if you are into conspiracy and you know it's not a theory, which it is not, if you like QAnon, if you are familiar with QAnon, and if you're not, I would suggest you look at it with a very discerning mind, extremely discerning. The understanding here is that the deep state or the dark agenda or the cabal or the Illuminati or the conspiracy is where we gave our power away. So you have to be very, very mindful when you're looking at that stuff, because you can fall into the trap of still us and them and conspiratorial stuff, and someone's going to rescue us, Q, Trump, whoever. Don't fall into that trap. It's a trap. There's no one who has to rescue us. We're here already. We're here already. All we have to do is, what we have to do is become conscious, come into the center, stabilize. 2020 adds up to 22, mastery. Number 4, foundation. What is your foundation? Your foundation is your heart center, your ability to stabilize. Peace, love, oneness, unity. Okay, but I'll go on with this. So wherever we're giving our power away, wherever we believe someone else is in control or someone else is the savior, or that we're the savior, or that someone's going to rescue us, or that we're going to rescue someone else, these are self-sabotaging programs. Bing, bing, bing. The deep state, it's all self. It represents where we've given our power away to some external authority, and it represents how we have sabotaged ourselves. So therefore, savior and sabotage, self-sabotage, need to be resolved. Needless to say, the entire program, the entire game that we're seeing on the collective stage is all a self-sabotage program, one massive self-sabotage program to get people, in a sense, by our own collective, by our own consciousness, to stop us from, in a way, or to interfere, in a sense, with our desire to sit still and be still, and to be peaceful, and to go into our heart center, and to clear out whatever it is that's in our life stream that we still have not resolved, so that we can be at the divine neutral of peace and love and acceptance. Okay, so I hope this is all making sense. Now, there's a couple other pieces in here that have to be addressed, which are relevant. And that is to say, the victim. victim, victimizer. So needless to say, anyone who's afraid of catching this virus, this idea of this virus, this concept, this vibrational frequency of this virus. Sorry, I have another piece of guidance coming in, I gotta say. My team just told me, don't worry, we'll bring it through instead. You don't have to remember it. So I think there will be a channel through this. So if I give way to it. So if you're plugging into the virus, then if you're afraid of getting the virus, if you're thrilled that you didn't get the virus, that means there's a victim victimizer program running. The virus in this case is the victimizer, or if you kind of know that it was created in a lab, as it was created in a lab, and it was created with an agenda. We know the agenda is always come up with a problem, find the solution, then leak the problem out, maximize it to the point of mass hysteria, and then introduce the solution. That's the way that game works. Create the problem, artificial problem that doesn't really exist. Find the solution before anyone knows that the problem has been created in the first place. Then leak the problem out, create mass hysteria, and then introduce the solution. If it hasn't already been introduced this week, you will see it. You will see it. If you haven't seen it, it'll come out just after possibly the 444 portal, but certainly the first week of April, you will see the solution to the virus. Is it, number one, a vaccine? Where does it trace the money back? Bill Gates, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, or it will be a microchip, artificial intelligence, trace the money back, China, still goes back to Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Okay, it's way bigger than that. So let's don't even point fingers or pin it. I don't even want to go there. I'm sorry, that's my mistake. The point is victim, victimizer is at play. Who's the victim? Who's the victimizer? If you're playing that game, and right, I just went there myself. It's so easy to go to that storyline because it's part of the global stage, and it's part of my job to have the whole picture as best as I can to help people disentangle from it. So that is a game. That is a game of control, domination, manipulation, and the old paradigm that's trying to hold on. And it's just playing out. It's not even real. Don't even hook into it, even though I just did myself. Okay, right? So, okay, three other major themes that have to be said here, according to my team, is freedom, liberation, and sovereignty. The most important, they're saying the two most important stand side by side. Sorry, three most important stand side by side, like 3 ones they're showing me. Freedom, liberation, and sovereignty. The second one is self-love, self-care, self-nurturing. And the third one is unification with source, unification and oneness. So let's address all 3 of them. If you haven't already, let's just right now, for just a moment, I mean, I can't miss this moment. We've got over 110 people on the live call, and I don't even know how many people are on the audio call. Yeah, there's easily countless more there. Let's say it right now, out loud. Say it out loud wherever you are, and say it as often as you can in a most neutral way possible. I respectfully request, I respectfully command freedom, sovereignty, and liberation throughout the totality of my body, being, life living in the most harmonious and benevolent ways possible. So be it. I claim sovereignty. I claim liberation. I command true and real freedom. Say it over and over again in a most neutral way. I command sovereignty. I command freedom, true freedom, not a false illusion of it, not being told that we're free. Such a joke. As my judgment comes up on that topic, that word freedom, such a lie, right? I claim sovereignty. I claim liberation. Say it. Neutral, not with anger, not with resentment, not with judgment, right? I'm doing my best to be, you know, my human identity comes up in this too. I think this is a big joke, but it is a joke. But just keep claiming sovereignty. Write it all over Facebook, say it, post it in the most neutral way possible. Claim sovereignty. You already have it. It's already here. But the higher realms pay attention to what the collective chooses. And you want sovereignty and liberation, particularly from any and all false timelines, false agendas, and especially and in particular, any and all beings, I'm listening for the words, who would consciously and or unconsciously even do crimes against humanity and or deliberately cause harm, seek to cause harm, sorry, I was corrected, seek to cause harm to any other living beings. Now that's a big one. Even if you can't say those words or if you don't remember them, just claim sovereignty and liberation from the third dimensional paradigm, from the false illusion, and especially from any false authorities. Yes, that's lighting up. Bing, bing, bing. Claim sovereignty. I claim sovereignty. I claim liberation from any and all false authorities. You're your own authority. You're God in a body, right? We're here to help one another. No one's an authority over your life, over your body, over your being. This is so important. So the third dimensional paradigm, people who are plugging into mainstream media have given their power away to false authorities. And we hope this year they will reclaim it. And the more of us claim sovereignty, liberation, and true freedom, the more of us that will really ripple into the collective in a big way. And you say it as neutrally and benevolently as possible. No resistance, no reaction, no judgment. It's already here. If you're really anchored into neutral and you know who you are, if you're in divine neutrality, you're not being pulled and swayed here. You're in this the still point of your heart. Notice how I'm talking. I really am, really. We're in the still point here. If you're wondering how you're so peaceful through all of this and why you're just amazed at how calm you are, bravo, you've done a good amount of work. That means you've done the inner work. If you're running around like a loosey-goosey, or if you're afraid to catch it, there's work to do. That means there's work to do. If you're afraid of anything at this point, that means you have work to do. Okay. Self-love is the second one. Now, more than ever, you are being given a global respite to learn how to love and nurture yourself. On my website, there's a course called Self-Love and Self-Care for Ascension. It was a very advanced class when I took it. If anyone feels like you are interested in that, it's under the Learn tab under the School of Ascension and Enlightenment at LoriSpagna.com. I don't know if there's a payment button on that page, but you can always request any of my courses. They're not $99 though, so don't request it if you feel like I do want to put a coupon code out for people, but anyway, for home study, it's a good time for this stuff. Like that self-love class is just awesome, I think. But however you do or self-love, or self-nurture, whatever is going to help you be peaceful, loving, calm, collected, the eye of the storm, the peace within, the divine neutrality, caring for yourself, whatever that means to you, and however that shows up for you, this is the time. Cleaning up your home, practicing healthy nutrition, learning new courses, doing meditations and healings. This is obviously a great place to be for that. This is the time. Self-love above all else. And that does not mean ever. Self-love is never to harm or detriment of anyone else. It's always to the benefit of all, because self-love will always benefit all. And that is just a massive calling right now. And if you just look at what, like, the, you know, kids playing in the sandbox concept are learning. They're learning how to wash their hands. They're learning how to be of service. They're learning how to be nice and kind. They're learning how to give to their neighbors. They're learning how to share toilet paper. Just, I don't mean to sound condescending, but that's like what's going on in the global stage, you know? They're learning how to love. They're learning how to be kind. All right, but self-love just will always, it's so juicy. It's so fun to learn self-love. Like right now, I'm just going to go for a walk in the neighborhood. You can go for a walk. You know, you can go outside and sit outside, breathe in some light, some sunlight, and let the light come in, breathe it in. Anything that's self-love. Take a shower, you know, send love into the earth, do a meditation, you know. Okay, I said enough about that, but that is the most important thing. Okay, third piece, unification. And of course, unification with source is going to happen through prayer, meditation, healing, group healing. I definitely, if you're not registered for our 444 annual speed activations call, you know, I've been doing these calls for 10 years, more than 10 years, but they used to just be called Ascension, Manifestation, and Healing Circles. And then to speed activation calls, but they're DNA activation calls. And I mean, those are truly profound. And I mean, it's like one of my gifts, right? I just have been cultivating this for so many years now, and I do them every year. And I announced this before this whole pandemic thing happened, but it's huge because this year, 444, April 4th, 2020, is the only true triple portal Stargate of the year. You could have said February 22, February 20th, 222, but the triple portal is the union of the divine. 3 is sacred union in numerology. And 444, April 4th, 2020, is 444 in numerology. And it is the new foundation of Earth coming in. It's already here, but it's what foundation will you anchor into? It's such an important day globally. So anyway, please do join us for that, the DNA call. It's under live events at lauriespagna.com under speed activation. It's only $47. And usually it'll probably be 4 hours this year because everybody's home. Usually it's at least 3 hours, and it's channeled, and it's DNA, and it's guidance, and I get off those calls and I'm like amazed. Okay, so this is the part about unification with source. The DNA activations that we do unify us with the divinity, the God sovereign self within us. Of course, all forms of meditation, healing, transformation, prayer, energy work, self-love, self-care, claiming liberation and sovereignty, because the old paradigm is not about unification. The old paradigm is about separation from source. The new paradigm is about unification with source and with one another too, through that unification. So this is so important, and I can't emphasize enough how important the whole month of April is going to be, the entire month of April, and especially that 444 triple portal window on April 4th, which is already building. So this is a time, an entire month, to be practicing unification. So those are your 3 overriding core themes: freedom, liberation, sovereignty, self-love, self-care, self-nurturing, and unification with source, with the divine, with yourself, with one another. And we know 444 as the triple portal to be a major activating day. There are massive amounts of energies and frequencies still being poured in from the higher realms, so to speak, from the lighter realms, to help us up level, to help humanity up level and break free from this old paradigm that you see the collective plugging into. Okay, I hope this is all making sense to all of you. Okay, 3 other things that need to be said, and then we're gonna hopefully, oh wow, I'm already at an hour, so we do want to get to the healing part. We'll do the healing on all these topic areas. You understand? What I just broke down and explained is what we're going to do the healing on. Self-sabotage, hive mind, discernment, and we let Divine Source and our collective group lead us. We do it with a prayer. So stick around for that. We probably won't do that final meditation, but I know I will have it. I'm going to do this call again next week. I'm going to do another gifted call to the community. So if you are new to me and you're not on my newsletter list, my Facebook is now maxed out. I have to do only a professional page. So unfortunately, I can't take new Facebook friends right now. But if you're on my newsletter list, you'll get the call access. And if you're on my Facebook, you'll get it there. Make sure you're registered on the newsletter list if you don't know me, so that you can get call access information, because we'll do another one of these next week. And I'm going to keep doing group calls, but it's just I can't answer personal questions or give personal support on a call like this. You see, we're already an hour into it. Okay, but here's the next other three things we just need to say. I'm asking which one first. Okay. We're going to say the story of the frog first. You may have heard this story, but it's really relevant. When a frog, sadly, is cooked, what they do is they put the frog a lot of times into the pot and they boil it slowly. The frog doesn't jump out. He just eventually finds himself cooked to death. When an elephant is trained, they put a chain around his leg, sadly, and they keep him chained so long that eventually they cut the chain and the elephant doesn't free himself because he just has believed he's chained. And this is what's happened to humanity, both of these examples. They have been slowly over the last 100 years, for sure. I mean, this goes back 26,000 years, the whole paradigm, right? Shifting of the ages. But since the 1900s, which was the birth of, we'll call it black magic. It really isn't the birth of it, but we do know Aleister Crowley, who was the grandfather of Barbara Bush Sr., who is credited with bringing black magic ritual into our world. Okay, we don't want to go down that path. It's not even relevant. It doesn't even matter. It's just what matters is to understand that was the 1900s, starting the 20s, we were supposed to be freed from that, 2000. And unfortunately, since then, we've been basically the pressure cooker on the frog, and we haven't freed ourselves like the elephants. So now we're freed. We're elephants who think we're still chained to this old paradigm, and we're not. And for the people who are engaging with the old paradigm and thinking that that's their reality, they are basically frogs being cooked. I can assure you that to continue engaging with this old paradigm ultimately will, they're showing it's there. Engaging with the old paradigm causes death. It's like warning, smoking causes death. No, warning, participating, continuing to be entangled with the old third dimensional paradigm will likely cause death over time. Not to create fear, it's just a paradigm of example. To understand that it's time to get out of the boiling pot and recognize that the chains have been cut free from all of us as elephants. And elephants are symbolic of the divine mother, often sacred feminine energy. So, okay, I hope this is making sense. Understand so much of what I do is like mystical paradigm, that you can understand it from that perspective, right? Okay, second very important thing I need to explain is what really, in a sense, is happening on a lot of the lower realms of people who are awakening is you're taking a piece of coal. God, in a sense, is taking coal. What is coal? Eventually, if the carbon of the coal is transmuted, it turns into a diamond. And that's what's in our DNA, by the way. Our dormant DNA is all these diamond codes and diamond light frequencies and codes to shift us out of the old paradigm and into the new paradigm, to really just up-level us into it. So what's happening for humanity if they choose it, and this is where we'll get to the training part again, and we do have to get to the healing, is to understand that we're being transformed from carbon, coal, to crystalline diamonds. And if you really know that and you're willing to take the call and to unplug from this old paradigm and to jump out of the pot and to take a leap of faith and to realize that nobody is entangling you to that reality but you, us, we become the diamonds in the new paradigm. And that is already here right now within us and in our own heart centers. Okay, so I hope this makes sense. I think this is the last piece of talking, unless, I don't know, something else comes through. And that is just, oh, the train thing. Yeah, I still have to do that. The vibration. So the vibration of the virus looks and feels like this. The vibration of virus. Right? I'm exaggerating for emphasis to make my point. Now, this virus, this vibration, this is what's plugged into the mass media. This is what you feel when you watch the news, even if you're not conscious of it. It's crazy. Craziness, chaos, and neuroses. Doesn't even feel good when I do that. I'm dramatic, a little dramatic there, but making the point. Right now on this call, and overall, the vibration of Lightworker, the vibration of Starseed, the vibration of Indigo family races, the vibration of the fifth dimensional paradigm, which is way beyond 5D. I just use that terminology to make it very obvious what we're talking about. Old paradigm, new paradigm. This is the vibration of that paradigm. Just feel right now. Just close your eyes for just a moment. Breathe and feel. Feels so good. I'm just going to give you a little bit of this to amplify, intensify, magnify for your benevolence. Close your eyes and breathe and notice. Sananda and the hosts are here. They want to speak. I'm asking them, can it wait? And they say yes. Feel and notice. Just notice what you notice. Whatever you notice is fine. Now, this frequency that we just shared for just a moment, there is no, absolutely zero virus here. There is no fear here. There is no anxiety here. There is no false agenda. There is no conspiracy. There is no deep state. There is no wrongness. There's nothing but peace and love and consciousness. And you're still here in a body. Open your eyes. You haven't gone anywhere. So the point is this. The vibration that you plug into will be the experience that you have. And it's most important now to be plugging into a vibration of peace and love. And it's up to you, all of us, to make sure that we're doing that. And we have this wonderful timeout that has been offered to us by the divine, not a false agenda. A false agenda didn't call a timeout. A false agenda didn't say you have to stay home. A false agenda didn't say you're quarantined. A false agenda didn't say it's up to us to tell you when and where you can go. No. Ascension and the liberation of humanity and the divine source said, I will create the most peaceful, safe, enjoyable, relaxing way for everybody to take a time out, to relax, to breathe, to stay connected, and still find their own resonance and find themselves. And as I do, I will make them as comfortable as they possibly can be in their own homes. And I will keep them connected through networking and media. I won't take that away unless they need more peace than they already have, unless they actually need a full timeout, so that they can be still and find a way to go within and still feel the love from one another and the sacred connection of support and assistance with and from one another. So this is what's happening, right? So our job is to recognize that vibration is within us. No matter where we are and no matter what we're doing, it's available right now. And that is the zero neutral point where we all are and where we must remain, really, no matter what goes on over the next months and throughout this year. As humanity awakens and more, there will be more chaos. There will be more craziness. There will be collapsing systems. And the point is to understand that if you're in this space, all there can be is goodness and wellness. Your future will be totally taken care of. It will be. Just trust and know, because if you're doubting that, it's just because you haven't been in this space long enough. Everyone has divine protectors. Everyone has, and the word protection is a fuzzy word, but it works for this moment. Everyone has appointed guardians. Everyone has angelics. Everyone has teams, both in physical and non-physical. Everyone has friends. Even if you don't think you have them in the moment, they will show up in your life to support you. Everyone has, you have all your needs are met. All your needs are met in the higher realms. And as you develop your capacity to be in this state of divine unity and divine trust in the higher frequencies, divine peace and divine love, it will be more and more revealed to you. So, all right, I hope this is helpful to everyone. I hope this is making sense. The last thing I want to say, and then we'll do the healing, is the concept of the train. So in this meditation, I'm gonna kind of really make a really good meditation for people for this, but I just want you to, just for a moment, close your eyes if you're willing. And it's not like a deep meditation. I'm doing this before the healing part because it's just worth it. I want you in your mind to just imagine the busiest train station you can possibly imagine. For example, Grand Central Station or any train station. It could be an airport if you like, it doesn't matter. And upon entering in your mind, you have to go to a sign to tell you what trains there are and where they're going. And so I just want you to imagine for a moment what I'm telling you. Train number 1 is basically, this particular train has, let's say, let's just say the energy of fear. And this particular train has anxiety on it. Your good old friend anxiety. This particular train has death. This particular train has disease. This particular train has sadness, but sadness like hopelessness, that kind of sadness, not like sadness like compassionate sadness or sorrow that gets cleaned up things. It's like hopelessness. Let's put that there. This particular train has, a lot of death and disease. It has a lot of poverty. It has sickness and illness. I think I've made my point. That's train number 1. And generally speaking, the kind of people who are on that train in general are the kind of people who typically do, maybe they watch a lot of TV, they watch a lot of news, they typically do drink a lot of alcohol maybe, or their idea of entertainment would have a lot of violence. They would probably be attracted to movies that are very, very violent. Yes, they do watch the news, and they typically do believe that the news is true. And they typically find that they have to watch the news. They might also be plugged into social media a lot, but overall, the messages on their social media pages typically would involve fighting. There would be a lot of division, divide and conquer. You know, I'm a Democrat, you're a Republican kind of energy, maybe. They would have a lot of bigotry on that train. They would hate and judge their neighbors. They would also typically believe, they would probably most likely not believe in any form of spirituality, most likely, or if they do, that would be something that's kind of reserved for a Sunday afternoon or something like that. That's train number one. You have a choice. You can get on that train if you want. And you'll know if you're on that train because, you know, you do those things. Okay, well, we know nobody wants to get on that train, but it's available for us if we want. It's waiting at the train station. Okay, let's give you train number two. And by the way, please know there are infinite trains. I'm just giving you some of the major ones here as what was given to me to give to you today. I have this not prepared at all. This is like the divine working through me. So train number two, you have, you have a lot of politicians on there, and you have a lot of, there's a lot of anger. There's a lot of right and wrong. I'm right and you're wrong. There's a lot of judgment there. There's a lot of moral high ground there. You definitely have all authorities are on there. Anyone who's ever taken your power or who you've given your power to. Yes, mass media would also be on that train. World religions. You would also put the pharmaceutical drug industry on it, good and bad, right and wrong. Pharmaceutical drug industry. You would also put the schooling system, right and wrong, good and bad. Like it's good, it's got good stuff, it's got some crappy stuff. It's the system. In fact, all the systems would go on that train. And whether they're repaired or not, right? Whether they're good or not, you know, vaccines, immunizations would go on there. Bill Gates would be on that train. The political voting system being revised. Somehow fair voting might be on that train. Fair, unfair, good and bad, judgment, right and wrong, this and that, duality would be on that train. Survival issues, the economy, the current economy, whether it's good or bad, whether it's resolved or not resolved, that would be on that train. Yes, our current media and our news would be on that train. And many people who believe in those kinds of things and think they're important for our society would likely be on that train. I'm sure I'm missing some things, but you're getting the picture. A money system, sales system, even any kind of, you might even have Amazon or eBay on that train. Okay, not bad, not, you know, it's good, it's bad, it's got everything, right? That's train number two. Okay, let's go to train number three. And on train number three, and if I'm overlapping this, please forgive me, because I'm sort of letting the divine tell me. I don't have this written down or anything, but I'm making a very important point here, so stay with me. Train number three is QAnon and conspiracy exposed and taking down of the deep state. Train number three includes truth or movement. Train number three has the arrest of all the cabal and the false authorities, the false Illuminati. The train number three certainly would have Bill Gates in jail. I keep picking him, but he's just one. It's 150,000 sealed warrants for arrest of global elites, which are meant to be exposed. What's on that train? Train number three are people waking up, people in oneness, people in unity, people ascending, people still working out their crap, and people who are bringing in lots of new technologies to help. There might even be some stuff like artificial intelligence that actually does serve humanity. Certainly there could be free energy. Think Nikola Tesla. Certainly on train number three, you would have some things like the elimination and eradication of chemtrails. Certainly on train 3, you would have things like the waters are healed, the complete eradication and elimination of nuclear power plants, the complete eradication and elimination of all forms of oil as a way, including plastics. We would no longer need those. There would be new healthy technologies based on all natural organic substances. Train number 3 would also include more holistic remedies, natural substances, natural healing, more and more healing modalities, more and more wonderful things coming to the surface, a whole new system, perhaps based on bartering, maybe gold and silver, the return to bartering and trade and silver and gold and free economies, maybe even the birth, certainly potential here on this train, the birth of cryptocurrencies. It's all good. Really, it's all good. Train number 3. Not a bad train. A lot of peace, a lot of joy. Maybe you got like Burning Man on that train, Shakti Fest, Bhakti Fest. It's all good. It's a good train, right? I mean, I'm using the words here. You don't mind that train. Now I want to give you train number 4. And train number 4 is a new earth. The air and the sky is already clear. The earth is already healed. The water is pure. There's clean drinking water for everyone. All animals are treated as sentient, with respect and dignity and honor. We recognize all of life as our teachers and our healers. All beings behave with kindness and reverence toward one another. Everything is resolved. There's peace and unity. There's no need for trade or bartering. There's simply the sharing of ideas and the contributing of service, of higher level consciousness that comes straight from the divine. Every human being recognizes themselves as a vehicle of the divine, for the divine to flow through them, to contribute and share to the world. There's free energy everywhere. Everyone's living joyfully, expressing themselves authentically. All there is experiences of fun and play and joy and celebration and exploration and unity, connection, creation. What will we create? Collaboration. Certainly there's a minimum of 12 to 144 to infinity strands of fully activated DNA. There is 0 disease. There is 0 sickness. There is 0 illness. There's joy, there's celebration, there's unification, there's oneness. There's play, there's happiness, there's fun, there's pleasure, there's excitement, there's glad expectation, there's optimism. They're all on that train. Optimism, glad expectation, divine inspiration. There's limitless solution and limitless potential with only one primary ground rule or directive, so to speak, and that is that it must serve the greater good of all in the most benevolent ways possible, with 0 debt incurred now or at any point in the future, in every now moment, and 0 harm to anyone or anything. There's new ways to create any form of nourishment, all forms of nourishment, the nourishment of love, joy, breath. There's new ways to create all new concepts of food and water. Everyone has every need. Everyone has every need they could ever imagine met. Every need. And by the way, on this train, we also start interacting with all kinds of other realms like angels and fairies. Oh, they play on train number 3. They do. They interact on that train, but they live on this train. Unicorns, dragons, angelics, angel gods, ascended masters. We reunify with all of the most amazing ascended masters on this train. They're on that train. Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, Allah, take your pick. They're there. Now I ask you, which train do you want to be on? This is the most important year of your life. This year, to choose your train. You must be vibrationally compatible with the train that you want to be on. And you must know that it's possible for you. You don't even have to know anything else other than the fact that it's possible. And if you don't know that it's possible, be willing to believe that it's possible. That's the bare minimum requirement to get on any train you want, to believe that it's possible. Believe it's possible. That's it. It's possible. You're already on train 4 right now. If that's the train of your choice, you stay there. You're in space now. Learn this vibration by heart. Learn what it feels like through your body. Know this vibration by heart. It comes through your breath, your unification, your desire to love and be peaceful. That's it. It's that simple. And to know that it's possible for you. You're already at the train station, 2020. This is the train station. By 2021, the train is leaving the station. Which train will you be on? Okay. So that was the meditation. Right? I'm going to do that meditation for people. I want to make it more available. Okay, I hope that was helpful to you. So I would love to hear some of your feedback. All right, so we're going to do the healing part now, but I'm going to take a little breath because the healing part is where my personality self gets out of the way. I would love, love, love to see and hear any feedback that you may have. I'm going to take like a 1-minute break here. Pardon me. I'm looking at myself while I drink in your face. Okay. I love it. Michelle's like, I'll be on train number 4. Awesome. Okay, so I'm so glad that this is helpful for you. I love, love, love. I know my people are all on train 4. I see that from Susie. I know a lot of your names, and right, our community is on train 4. We know we are. And we're just anchoring it in. That's what this year is for us, to just really anchor in train 4, basically. But a lot of people right now, they're still on train 1, and they don't even know train 4 is available. So thank you, Christina, for your love. Oh, I love seeing your comments. So fun. And TJ, I'm glad that's helpful to you. So I love seeing your comments. Thank you for sharing those. So I do want to take a moment and invite you. Of course, I want to invite you. I'm going to do another call like this next week because I get it. You know, people have financial challenges, and especially that we're not able to work. The thing is that I've been doing this work and I've been dedicated myself to this for like 20 years now. And I took it wasn't an easy journey. So it's not an easy journey for any of us. We're all in this journey. But I just want to say this is what I do for a living. And in order for me to have calls like this, I also have to pay my expenses and things. And the one way I can help people more one-on-one, because like a call like this, I can't do individual coaching and individual support, but I would love for you to join me for a couple of things I'm going to make available. Number one, if you want to learn more about this and you want to learn more about timelines and stuff, I would recommend you join the Sacred Membership. And that's a home study program. You have access for a full year. It's countless meditations, classes, so much stuff on every topic imaginable. If you really want to accelerate and you want to do home study, you can do that 5-week, you can do the Sacred Membership at your own pace and time. That's on the website under membership. There's no interaction from me. It's just you get to study at home. It's just such a huge library. It's a whole vault of stuff that I've been doing for the past 20 years. Now, the live event that I would love to invite you to, of course, is 444, which is April 4th, this April 4th, which I believe is Saturday. And that's under the live events tab on my website at lauriespagna.com. We call that Speed Activations. And I don't do Q&A there either. We usually get over 100 people or more on that call. And we do the DNA activations. And what's unique about my DNA activations is that we're going for specific codes and codons. We don't just do a strand, which is beautiful to just do strands. That's beautiful. That's what most of the collective who does DNA does. We do that, but we go deeper than that. We're activating codes and codons that are birthing more of these potentials for humanity. And we're also clearing out stuff. Like one that we will be clearing out is Armageddon Programming, which is what people are so afraid of. I haven't cleared enough of that out yet. So Armageddon Programming is this end of game, end of life, end of humanity's belief system that people believe right now, which isn't true, of course. But there's so much stuff in the DNA to be excavated and explored, cleared and resolved and awakened. That's the good stuff. And so I would invite you to that. And I have kept the rate so low. This is based on well over 20 years of my own personal development and spiritual development, not to mention my own induction experience where I literally was transported on ship and had to unpack this stuff over the past 15 years. So I think a $47 fair energy exchange is practically nothing for what comes through. It's practically nothing. It's practically giving it away. And I've been told over the years, over and over again by my higher team to increase that rate. Actually, I was told this time, increase it to 97, and I still didn't even follow my own guidance of that because I want to make it available to people. And I'm told constantly, you do so many free things and so many free healings, and you can still keep doing that, but this should be honored, and you have to honor yourself. And then anyway, it's such a low price and so worth it. And if you liked this, you'll love that. So that's for the 444 triple portal. You do get a recording of that. So if you can't be there live, and you'll experience the healing because we're going to stay on the call longer because I'm assuming we're all homebound. So we went longer than I was planning, but we're going to do the healing after this. You'll get a taste of the healing, kind of healing energies. The other thing I'd love to invite you to, which is also on my website under the live events tab, is the 5-week Ascension channeled coaching and healing. I'm calling it a retreat. It's basically where it's not as much, we'll be talking about this, what's going on humanity, but it's really where people will get coaching, support, healing, guidance. I'll be able to work with people one-on-one. I'll be able to help them with whatever issues are going on in their life. It's not a one-on-one call, it's a group call, but it'll be smaller, a smaller group dynamic, obviously, and you'll be able to ask your questions and get support on whatever's going on in your life, whatever it is, because it's designed to be coaching and support. So if you're wondering about how to help your animals, or you need more help with up-leveling out of the lower dimensions, if you're dealing with self-worth issues or money, materialism, that's going to be a big thing this year, right? We can sort of see the writing on the wall for that one. How to navigate into 5D and beyond, how to access and awaken more of your own intuitive gifts. It's always divinely guided by who shows up, by the team of light beings we work with. And I mean, I think I pride myself on over delivering. So I'm sort of underselling it. It's right now at lauriespagna.com under the live events tab, and it will include healing, meditation, guidance, coaching, support, and certainly channeled information as well. And right now, there's a save $200 rate on there for people who really want, who have money challenges. Honestly, this I would normally charge $795 or $995 for. And because of everybody not working, you know, I just brought it in at a very low rate. So if you feel guided and you would like more support and direct assistance with me, it's the early bird rate is there now through April 4th. Don't email me on April 5th and ask me if you can still get that rate. I get people doing that, and I find like, this is where I'm announcing it. Right now it's there through April 4th. After that, the rate will go up to $495. So, and then after that, it'll stay at $495 for a short time, and then it'll go to $595 for people who are last minute. It'll be worth way more than that. So this is the time to jump out of the pot. And this is what this is. It's really, I've called it the illumination and awakening of humanity and the birth of the third wave of ascension. We're going to be dealing with the third wave easily for at least 2020 and most likely into the future, because as people level up, not everybody even understands the concept of the fourth train. And you basically most likely going to have like mergers and overlaps for quite some years ahead too. So anyway, I hope that is helpful. I mean, we don't know how it's going to play out. We don't really all know, because it's this pivotal year is so important. But overall, what we're all doing is leveling up, and we understand, okay, I don't want to start making predictions about that. I could go down that pathway, and my team just stopped me. The point is this is for your support. So please join me. It's at lauriespagna.com under the live events tab, and it's under 5-week Ascension channeled coaching and healing retreat, the illumination and awakening of humanity, and the birth of the third wave of ascension. And you'll get to interact with me one-on-one there, you know, in a group setting. And right now through April 4th, you get to save $200 for those of you who are ready to take action right now. And I would love to have you join me. I will say, I love my tribe, I love my community, and I love what I do. And I feel like this is my divine mission. This is my reason for being here, to assist people at this time. And I'm happy and glad to be able to connect with you in that way, because it'll be much more intimate. Like, it'll be like this we'll all get to know each other. So you'll also get support from the tribe. And with an event like that, what I also do is for people who will opt in and who would like to participate, they'll be able to exchange information with one another so that they can connect and know each other and form community. And depending on how the group dynamic goes, we may have like much more interaction, but it's always choice. Like, if you want to stay black screen without your name, you can do that. But anyway, based on what everybody decides, you get to make community there. And it's, you know, it's a nice form of interaction and support from other awakening beings. We'll probably have a private Facebook too. I haven't set that up, but I'm sure I will. So, all right. So I hope that is helpful, because I see a lot of questions and things, but I love your comments. I always wish I could take more time to read them all. But anyway, let's do the healing part. Yeah. I see a lot of your names, I know. So it's nice to see you. All right, so we're going to do healing. And as always, with all the healings we do, please know that it's never me. I've just cultivated my service, my work so much for so long. I'm able to get out of the way enough to allow the divine to do the healing, unless it's identified as a healing that comes directly from either ascended master or an angel or an archangel. It's not me. I'm a translator. I'm a facilitator. And yeah, I'm working with the non-physical and the higher realms, so to speak, to do what I'm supposed to do in the physical world for the healing to work. But ultimately, it's always up to you and your free will. So if you hear something you don't want, or that just doesn't resonate, you can say, no, thank you. And if you want it, you always have to give your consent to each individual thing. I go into translation and I bring the words through based on what's given, and then source will speak through me, or I'll say the words. And it's like very blended in a lot of ways, because I'm very good at unifying with that source in oneness and just getting out of the way. And you have to opt in, basically. You'll hear, please say yes if you want this, or the words are usually like, give consent and agree. It's not a floaty meditation. You're in your body, and it's, yeah, it's not like, it's a kind of a talking meditation, because it's a healing meditation. It's really mostly, what we're really talking about is shifting your vibration out of one frequency into another. Like, and if I don't say this, I got to say it now because I might forget. With the healings and the meditation healings that we do, the meditation healing is always the start of it. In other words, it's not during the meditation that you're getting the healing. Actually, during the meditation, you're giving consent for your consciousness to up level and shift, and the work that the divine does. But the healing continues long after we hang up the call. So in the now moment, as you're receiving whatever you're receiving, or noticing, or whatever you're noticing, whatever's happening, just remember that's just the instant that source is giving to you, but your experience of the healing will continue. This is just the start of it. Make sense? I hope that helps. Okay. For my recording people, I'm just going to stop the recording for just a second and do this healing separate. I don't know why. I was just told to do that. Just give me a second. Okay, good. So we're doing this healing meditation. This healing meditation is designed to assist during this time of the third wave of ascension and the awakening of humanity during the third wave of ascension, particularly at the birth of 2020 and throughout 2020, and particularly targeted toward issues related to the virus, the so-called we'll just leave it at that. We know what it's called. Good. So for everyone participating now, this is a time you want to start to relax. Yes, as always, you want to be drinking water if you haven't already. You saw me do that, but please make sure you drink lots of water afterwards, green juice, anything that's healthy for your body. But for now, have your feet connected to the earth, ideally the ground or the floor, and drop into your heart center. You just close your eyes and start taking in breaths of love and peace. Very simple, right? It's all energy. So breathing in love and peace, and starting to connect with the breath of love and peace, and starting to identify it through your in-breath. That love and peace is what you're breathing in. And you let your brain be aware of this breath coming in through the nose, filling up the entire brain with this love and peace. There you go. You guys are already shifting. And you feel it with your mind's awareness, and then you exhale whenever is right for you. And whenever you breathe in the next breath, you travel it down into the throat. We're just filling up our major energy centers with love and peace. So fill it up, love and peace. Exhale whenever is comfortable. And whenever you're ready, you take the next deep breath and you feel it come and travel in through the brain, the throat center, down into the heart. Filling up the whole heart center, all the chest, all the lungs with this beautiful, clear breath of love and peace. Clears out everything. Exhale whenever is comfortable. And on the next deep, full, comfortable, relaxing breath, you want to be sitting up so you're not falling asleep for this. Active participation makes it the most effective. Travel it down into the belly. Fill up the whole belly center, love and peace. Every time you breathe love and peace in, every time you relax into your center, you are energetically taking an energetic shower, in a sense, showering off your inners and opening up your chakra centers. Next breath of love and peace, travel down into the reproductive center. And you want to let your brain feel this love and peace moving through your body. You're connecting with the divinity within your own body. You're becoming your own master. Number 22 of 2020 is mastery level. You are the master of your own domain. You're the master of your own dominion. You're the master of your own body. You are sovereign and free and liberated. Breathe into that reproductive center. That's the area, by the way, of sacred union with the divine. And then, of course, travel it down into the buttocks area. Feel this breath traveling through your body. Whenever you're comfortable, you exhale. Let's take another breath, clear out again. This time, next breath, breathe it in through the brain center and ripple it out. Expand the love and the peace around you. Ripple effect all around you, strengthens your container, builds up your frequency field, strengthens your body and being. Exhale whenever it's comfortable. Breathe it down into the throat. Expand it out every direction around you. Ripple effect all around you. Expands the throat center, builds up your container of love and peace all around you. Strengthens your body and being. Next breath, whenever you're comfortable, exhale, breathe in again, down into the heart center. Of course, building the heart muscle, strengthening heart matter, brain matter in the heart. Expand it all the way out. This time with the breath, remember from the base of the spine, of the brain, that's actually throat center. I want you to travel the breath down from the back of the brain all the way down the vagus nerve. So we haven't left the heart center, but just travel it down the vagus nerve. This is your major nerve of the nervous system that relaxes the body and brings it into homeostasis. Travel all the way down your spinal cord. Feel the breath of love traveling down your spinal cord, and notice how your body is naturally relaxing into homeostasis. Peace and love, breathe it in. Then going back to the heart center with the next breath. Any part of the body that needs to relax or move, that's fine, because your body's relaxing in, and you might notice some part that wants to stretch or move. That's okay. You don't have to be still for this. We're still just getting started. This is the warm-up. So now from that heart center, fill up these lungs. Fill up your lungs. This is really important. You're doing it for yourself, but you are part of the collective with the breath of love and the breath of peace and the breath of clarity. This time, breathe in some clarity, all in those lungs. Clear those lungs. Pure, clear, healthy air, healthy love, healthy peace, breathing in and through those lungs. Fill them up. I'm healthy, I'm strong, I'm clear. Say it in your mind. Take the breath down now from the lungs into the belly center. This is your personal power, reclaiming power, third chakra. Personal power. Personal power, right? Breathe it into the belly. Fill up all of the midsection, including the mid-back, including the organs behind you, which include the kidneys on either side. Kidney processes fear. Breathe love, peace, clarity, unity, self-love, self-care into that middle section, personal power, in the whole mid-range of the body. All the organs there, pancreas, stomach, large intestines. What else is in that area? I'm in a zone. You know, all those organs in that body section. Fill them up. Appendix, if it's there. Belly, stomach. Did I say stomach already? Liver. I didn't say the liver. That's important. Fill it up with love and peace, clarity. Anything that wants to relax, relax. Notice, feel inside your body. Feel, sense, and see inside your own body. Travel down, reproductive center now. Next breath. Exhale, inhale whenever feels right to you. And now travel into the reproductive center. And you know all your reproductive organs, the gonads, sexual organs. Just fill them up with love and peace. This is the union with the divine feminine, divine masculine. This is the union with the sacred you. This is the reunification with your God sovereign self. Breathe it in there. and your creator abilities. You are creator. We are all creators. Breathe it in, fill it up, love and peace. Exhale when it's comfortable. Now go into the buttocks. If you'd like, you can travel the next breath all the way down the vagus nerve again, all the way down to the root, the base of the spine, and the entire buttocks, including all of the systems that release all toxicity, all heaviness, everything that your body no longer needs, natural process of elimination, the renal glands, every part of that body, just fill it all up, the whole buttocks area. And now with this breath of love, as we always do, travel it down the legs. We'll just go kind of quickly. You should probably feel your legs already kind of tingling a little here. And just drop all that love all the way down through all the layers of earth. You know this part of the meditation, especially you guys who know me. As always, we drop down, we merge with Mother Earth, Gaia, and we give all our love, our breath of love, our breath of peace down to Mother Earth. And we reach down to the crystalline core in the center of Mother Earth. And we connect in with our true mother. And we give our love, our peace to her. We give our reverence, anything else you want to breathe in, reverence, honor, respect, dignity, compassion, love, whatever it is. I said love, we've been breathing love, but whatever it is, honor. I said that too. Just give it all to Mother Earth. Just drop down there. And the crystalline core, which is the Christ consciousness, which we stored in there, Mother Earth has helped us. And of course, we know Jesus Christ was one ascended master who attained Christ consciousness. All ascended masters have attained it. We are stepping into our mastery. This year, 22, is a mastery level. Breathe it up now and receive the gifts that Mother Earth returns to you. This happens very naturally. You'll feel it come up through your feet. You'll feel some form of tingling or some beautiful, peaceful, loving sensation, whatever it is. Rise the breath up now through the buttocks. Rise the breath up through the reproductives. Rise the breath up through the belly center. Just naturally, you notice sometimes the breath slows because it's so much peace and love now. You don't even have to work at breathing. Rise it up into the heart. And for this particular part of the healing, we'd like you, a team that I'm speaking with already, merging with us, to stay in the heart center. So we're not going to go any further. You're just going to collapse, so to speak, into your own heart. Just drop down into the most fundamental frequency of love which exists within you and within your own heart. And you'll hear the words I say, and you breathe as is comfortable for you. And whenever you need to come out of the heart to say yes, please, yes, thank you, whatever it is, as you're guided, or no, thank you, that's fine. And then just drop back down into the heart. Breathe as is comfortable and right for you. Yeah, we're already clearing. So Sananda and the host would like to step forward, and we'll allow this for this moment now before we proceed with the healing. Beloved ones, we greet you. We are Sananda and the hosts, which are other masters, ascended masters. Many of you are already here. Many of you know yourselves here with us, among us. For as always, we are you and you are us. And we simply are bringing our perspective from a different, unique perspective than you as individual may be coming from at this moment, or sharing or visioning. Indeed, it is true, all is unified now. And this is our most benevolent and loving guidance to you at this time, to remember you are unified. As has often been stated before, cast not your fears or doubts or worries to the lower realm, but rather give it away to God. Give it to the higher realms to change and transmute. For now is the time to remember all is unified and all is one, and there is nothing else here but that. You are here. You have already arrived. And while we speak to you as an ascended master, many, a sub-collective of many ascended masters from the non-physical, you are here. You are with us. And all is one. There is no thing to concern yourself with any longer on your world stage. There is no one outside of you that can ultimately pull you away from who you are and simply serve as mere distractions for you at this time. Do not be distracted. Stay in the luminescence of who you are. Remember to be focused on the luminescence of who you have become. Align with your brothers and sisters of the light, for we are you and you are us, and all is one. There's nothing to fear in your physical world. Know this for sure. All is being resolved now. All is being resolved. You simply have a choice of how much longer you would like to participate in resolving old issues which have already been resolved. The choice is that simple. Stay in the luminescence of your heart and the light of your brothers and sisters. Thank you. So, okay, so we go to the healing now. So I hope this was helpful. They're bound to us like this. Like this. Oh, there's so many other masters here. We could go on. All right, I'm going to yield. I have Einstein here. Yes, Einstein. And you may think that Einstein is it's funny that he's showing up here. And he says, I'll give away, come on. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. It's all an illusion. Remember the quantum truth. The quantum truth is this. You are all that is, and all there is you. And everything else is an illusion and a phase, a stage. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain who seems to be orchestrating puppeteer games, playing with puppets on a stage. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Remember, you are already here with me too. I have learned from you. I learned in my time to traverse time and space, which you never really can do, actually. It's simply another aspect of quantum reality. However, from this moment, where I am here now with you, and many others like it, I tapped into in my time. I discovered this for myself. What you are learning now, there's nothing else but you. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. He's just an illusion, a mask wearer of sorts. I peered into this time-space continuum and brought it into my reality. I communicated it back then, but not always successfully. And ultimately, I learned. I learned too, just as you are. All is one. Do not be dismayed at your current state of reality, but rather see it for the wake-up call that it is. See it and know it for what it is. In the world of quantum physics, it's easy to identify that your particle of creation is reunifying. And as it does, each of you will choose various experiences for how you proceed on your journey. This is where it gets exciting. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Okay. Humor there. Interesting. All right, that's, I stepped off there. Okay, good. So let's do this healing, and I hope you liked that. I hope you've enjoyed that. Let's do the healing. Okay, I've got to step out again a little bit here. Where we begin. Source, Creator, God, the Divine. Let's just do a little prayer here. Not that we really need it because we're also already in it, but we just ask Divine Source, Creator, God of all that is, most benevolent, infinite love, infinite light, infinite wisdom, infinite peace, infinite presence, infinite awareness, come forward here now, be with us, bring forward all your choirs of angels, angels and archangels, ascended masters who we know are guiding us and leading us and who are already with us. Star family races, benevolent beings, we love you, we love you, we love you. We give thanks for your presence here, and we recognize and welcome you into this circle. And we ask once again, as always, that only that which serves, supports, and assists in the highest and most benevolent, best ways possible, and for the greatest, highest, and most benevolent, best of all, with zero harm and zero detriment to anyone, shall be served from now and forever into the future. That only that which is meant to come through, healing and service and contribution, with zero harm and zero detriment, and zero debt incurred. We give thanks now that this is done, and so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good, so we begin this healing right here and right now with clearing your base issues of fear. And while in this now moment, each and every one of you is feeling so perfectly aligned that you're not resonating with the fear, we know indeed it does identify in your field, and therefore, with your consent, and while you may not see or perceive it in this now moment, we will certainly identify it from your field with your consent, from your overlapping fields and your fields of interaction with others, either directly in human form or indirectly. All residue and resonance of fear, fear-based frequencies, fear about your future, fear about your money, fear about your worth, fear about your value, on and on, infinite. We will identify this fear. While it's unnecessary in a sense, on one sense, it will be from your collective with your consent as you are part of the collective, gently, benevolently, and expediently lifted, removed, dissolved, and taken away and transmuted into love and light. Now would be the time, especially fear related to survival and survival-based issues. Give your consent. If you so choose, breathe, receive, consent, and allow. Drop down into the heart center. Divine Goddess is coming. Take a long, slow, deep breath. Here we go. Remember that during the meditation, you built a container around you, so you're not overlapping with anyone else in this way. Your container's already around you, rippled around you. You're not taking on anything from anyone else. Its source is lifting and clearing and resolving. Thank you. And for wherever it exists along your oversoul family lineage, that means your loved ones, basically. It will also be with your consent, as you are a representative of your oversoul family lineage, lifted and removed and dissolved and taken away and transmuted into love. For love is all there is, and love is all there ever was in any way. With your consent now, breathe, receive, consent, and allow. This is where your loved ones get a healing, but not on their necessarily on their human level as much as for them in the non-physical. I'm being corrected on that. It is very physical, Source is saying. This is a real physical healing that will affect those you are in sacred communion with in a way that supports, because you're part of the oversoul family. And so you're allowed to do this for them under the laws of the universe, which are governing us. So give your consent if you so choose. This is where you're doing healing for your collective. Let's get a long breath. relax, drop into the heart. Oh gosh. Yeah, just clearing that away, transmuting into love and light. Yes. You just notice. Your job is just to notice. Notice whatever you notice. It's fine. Nothing for you to do but breathe and give your consent or say no thank you. Good. Moving on. Self-worth, self-value, worthlessness. I matter. I have a right to exist. I matter. I have a right to exist. These will be anchored in Creator's consciousness, Creator's truth, Creator's point of view. Creator, I'm using the word creator, but you could just as well substitute it with source, God, the divine. Perspective, understanding, and definition. The original divine source of all that is. Now providing you with its truth, point of view, perspective, understanding, and definition of what it means to matter and how much you matter. That you do matter. And that you have worth and value. Your life matters. And that you're a worthy being because you exist. And because you are a representation of source, and source matters. And you're a valuable being. You have value. You have worth. And you're a valuable contribution to humanity. And your existence matters. All of this is connected to the lungs and breathing easy and clear. You know what it feels like, and you know how to breathe easy and clear. And it's safe for you. And you are safe to breathe easy and clear and to have clear breath because you matter and you have a right to exist. And you're worthy and deserving of existing. Your worth and your deservability matters. Now is the time to breathe, consent, and allow, if you so choose. Allow the divine source, Creator God, to instill these truths within you and within every cell of your body and being. With your consent, if you so choose, you take a long, slow, deep breath. You say yes, thank you, or yes, please, either silently or out loud. You drop into the heart space and you allow it to be so. Here we go. Oh gosh. So you hear me do that. For those of you who don't know, we're just moving out what was there. It means some of us were carrying some density. It has to get transmuted out of the way. That's okay. Slow breath. Yeah. Yeah. Notice what you notice. There we go. Nice. Nice. Smooth like butter. Smooth like butter. Just coming in. These are new truths now. Awakening in every cell of your body and being. Source says it wants to give you remembrance. So, thank you. You notice I'll step back and forth, right? Because I'm unifying, but I'm translating. And when I'm me translating, Source says, give them remembrance. Remembrance, that you remember who you truly are, which is Source, Creator, God in a body. And that you remember your worth and your value. And that you remember what it feels like to matter. And that you remember, because matter is the substance of our existence. You matter. You get to keep your body. You matter. You remember that you matter. You remember who you are. You remember what you came here for. You remember your value and your worth because it's been within you all along. You remember your unification with Source. You remember your God sovereign self. You remember all of this and even better. Breath into the body. Give consent if you so choose. All of this with and from Source consciousness, truth, point of view, perspective, understanding, and definition now for you. You breathe, you receive, you consent, you allow if you so choose. Thank you. Source will now instill within you in every cell of your body and being sovereignty, liberation, and freedom. With and from source consciousness, source truth, source point of view, source perspective, understanding, and definition. Source truth, source point of view, source perspective, understanding, and definition. Bringing you into alignment with source regarding how much sovereignty, freedom, and liberation you truly have and you truly are. And that this sovereignty is more fully, wholly, and completely anchored from within you. Every cell of your body and being, awakened from within you, activated within you, instilled within you. It's been within you all along. Breathe, receive, consent, and allow. Yes. Nice. Notice what you notice. It's fine. Feel it wherever you feel it in your body, or drop into the heart. Important. This is important. Important. These goddesses came in and said, it's important. It's important. Notice what you notice. Good. Now, the removal of all, any and all, victim, victimizer, the removal of all, any and all, savior mentality, and the removal of all, there's no one to save. No one needs saving. And the removal of all, if you think someone needs saving, we said it already, it's coming in again for some reason. If you think someone needs saving, you're on the wrong train. If you think Earth needs to be saved, you're on the wrong train. The removal of all savior programming, the removal of all, because saviors create problems. That's what Source is saying. The removal of victim, victimizer, there's no victims here. There's people choosing to exit at this time. Removal of victim, victimizer, the removal of victim, victimizer, and the removal of all self-sabotage programs, all victim, victimizer programs, all savior programs, including the mentality, the beliefs, the belief systems, the opinions, and the judgments of victim, victimizer, of savior, and also of self-sabotage. Now, with your consent, if you're willing to have these removed from you, identified, lifted, removed, and dissolved and taken away. They really already have been in a sense, but we'll do this for your oversoul family as well. So first, consent for yourself, as it must be done for yourself first. So thank you. Give consent if you so choose. Oh yeah, there's going to be some heavy stuff coming up here. It's easier to clear now. Wow, that was much easier than I thought it would be. That's nice. And replacing it with unity and unity consciousness and unification, all with and from divine source truth, divine source perspective, understanding, and definition, and divine source point of view, bringing you into alignment with divine source consciousness, truth, point of view, perspective, understanding, and definition as it relates to unity, unity consciousness, and unification. This is a time you give your consent. If you want this, it's an attunement, a vibrational adjustment. Allow it to be so if you so choose. Long, slow, deep breath. Yes, please. Yes, thank you. Drop into the heart. Yes. Good, 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 good. Okay. Okay. A download. Discernment. This is important too. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to give you discernment. So discernment is a gift that is generally cultivated and learned. However, once it's activated, it frees and liberates you from the hive mind. So this gift of discernment will now be instilled within you, and every cell of your body and being awakened from within you and simultaneously activated within you. It's been within you all along. Will free and liberate you from hive mind, and it will give you more and more clarity and ability to determine fact from fiction, truth from falsehood, and especially to navigate your way more effectively through this coming year. So with your consent now, breathe, receive, consent, and allow. Then we will do the oversouls for all the stuff we just did. So discernment, Creator's truth, point of view, perspective, understanding, and definition of discernment. Your truth, point of view, perspective, understanding, and definition will be made one and the same as Creator's as it relates to the topic area of discernment. You'll know what it feels like to have and live your daily life with discernment. You know that you're worthy and deserving of it, because of course you are. And you're capable of having discernment and living your daily life with discernment. And it will be easy and effortless because you'll remember, because of course it's been within you all along. Now with your consent, breathe, receive, consent, and allow as you come into alignment with Divine Source, Creator, God of all that is, on the topic area of discernment. Just noticing whatever you notice is fine. Breathing, relaxing. If you're so choosing this, you just notice. And you may notice nothing, or else you're just noticing the calm. Okay. We're going to give this what we just did the last 3 rounds, which included discernment, which included the clearing of victim, victimizer, sabotage, self-sabotage, and savior mentality, and all those programs. And what was the third thing was? I'm sort of forgetting. What was it? There was a third piece. Discernment. The worthiness piece. They're saying it was the 3 we said. The last 3 major downloads, we'll give it to the collective, saying, don't worry, because you said it already, Lori. They said that you said it. I'm in an altered mind, right? Yes, have no concern. They say, have no concern. For the last 3 activations you just did, the last 3 clearings, including clearing from the hive mind and the discernment, including the 3 activations related to the victim, victimizer, related to the self-sabotage, and also related to the savior mentality and all of its programs, implants, explants, patterns, etc. As it was identified by the higher realms, it is known. It is known. Provide this gift as well to your family lineage, as you as a representative will not be working with their physical structures, but we will be working with the physical field around them. As you are a member of your own oversoul family, and you are a representative, therefore it shall be done, as the Lightworkers on planet Earth at this time have contracted for this very service, and therefore it is possible and it is fine, well, good, and divine to do so. You must give your consent for your oversoul family. As always, it is only as is, for the highest and most benevolent best of all concerned, and with harm to none, let it be known, as it has been said, it shall be done, with zero debt incurred now or at any point in the future by anyone. And so if you shall gift this as a light worker representative of who you are, your family lineage, and your oversoul family. This is not your family lineage, correction, thank you. Your oversoul family shall receive the gifts as well. So you take a long, slow, deep breath. You say, yes, please. Yes, thank you. You drop into your heart center. Allow it to be done. There's nothing else for you to do. You're just the representative saying yes. And in the physical form, giving your consent as a light worker to do your divine mission and contract to assist with humanity who still doesn't know what's going on. That's simple. And there it is. Nice. A little more. Just noticing now. They're giving a delineation. Your oversoul family may or may not include your nuclear family, your linear family. It typically does. Most cases it does. For some star seeds, it may not. And that's okay. And it's not necessarily, they're saying, do not analyze at this time. No need to analyze this. Yet I'm asking, they want to do a little more on the topic of authenticity and expressing your truth and being free to express authenticity and to expose and reveal yourself in an authentic, true, real way, feeling safe and comfortable to do so. So Source would like to provide you these gifts on this topic area, gifts of consciousness that will allow you to exist in your true, authentic divinity, feeling safe to be authentically you and to express authentically. And to live authentically. And also to combine this, for this is the diamond that you will become. Saying, the diamond that you will become is so rare and authentic and precious. And it's you. So this is why this gift of authenticity. You'll know what it feels like, and you'll know how to be authentically real and true to you, and to express and reveal yourself authentically. All within from source consciousness, the divine source, for it is working and operating and being in you, through you, as you, witnessing you, becoming you, aligning you, you becoming it, entangling, entwining with the divinity of who you are. And this is your authentic being expressing. Breathe, receive, consent, and allow if you so choose. This is with and from divine source truth, point of view, perspective, understanding, and definition, awakening within you, activating within you, instilling within you, and remembering, because of course it is you. Breathe, receive, consent, and allow. Sharing this with our brothers and sisters of humanity as well, and the Oversoul family groups that we represent. If you'd like to give it to your Oversoul family group, that's all your soul family. Some you know, some you don't know. There could be hundreds of thousands of individuals in your soul family, or more. You just give consent and allow. Source does the work. You are the physical body that gives consent according to the laws of intent, consent, and authority, the law of free will. You're the physical vehicle for the sharing, for the collective to receive and benefit. Nice, this is done. Okay. I'm listening, sorry. They're saying there's much more we can do here. And there will be more. And they're saying at this time, there's a pause. And this is for more of your heart center. I hear you. Thank you. So what they're saying is, this is our oversoul team of this group who's talking to me. That's why I'm saying there. It's our collective, our group who's here live. And what they're saying is these are all of our higher selves in unison as a sub-collective. What they would like to provide for us so that we can anchor this more fully is an overall heart-centered clearing of this chakra center, and a unification with each of our own higher selves, thank you. So that more of humanity can be more anchored into the heart. So they're saying, as you've been dropped into your heart, we're saying, your own higher self would like to more fully merge with you and unify with you to provide more heart-centered expansion, more connection between the higher self aspect, the consciousness awareness aspect, and the heart-centered love. And this will allow for more clear breathing and more clear knowing. And then they're saying there's going to be a second connection that they'd like to make. This is they, us, we, our higher selves, and the God Source collective that we are, into the gut to activate more of the gut brain and awaken more brain matter in our gut so that we will be able to more effectively follow our own gut instincts. And this clarification of this channel will also further not only unify each of us as individuals, but our collective in more clarity and discernment and channel of information that comes through in the coming weeks, days, weeks, months, and year. So now they're saying there's nothing for you to do, and just allow it. We have a lot of star family races coming in to help with this as well. Us as star family and our Galactic Federation family of light. So if you're familiar as a Starseed, it's fine. If you don't want this, you can say no, of course, but it's all good, all benevolent, and zero harm, zero detriment, and zero debt incurred. So if you'd like this now, all you need to do is continue to breathe and drop into your own heart center as deep as you can. Breath, drop, whatever feels right to you. And just allow it. This is being done for us in a sense. Galactic brothers and sisters of light, we provide this opportunity. We welcome this opportunity. We provide this clearing for you to awaken more of your own inner gut instincts and your own heart brain and belly brain, digestive system. All of the inner flora in your body and all of the healthy bacteria in your body, including your own immune system and immunity, knows exactly how to be healthy and strong and how to remain healthy and strong and how to be fully, wholly, and completely immune and also impervious to any false intruders or false invaders, into any and everything that could ever be in the lower realms perceived as harmful or detrimental. You are immune and you have immunity. This is natural within your body. And no one needs to do anything to have this. This is natural. This already belongs to you. Unfortunately, in the lower realms, those of the hive mind, as you've been using that terminology today, we will adopt this terminology for the purposes of this channel, this information coming through, this misinformation that's being fed to those of the hive mind. They are unaware of this fact. Their body already has everything needed and everything required to keep them strong and healthy, virile and alive. What we are doing for you now as your family of light, your star family races, is just further instilling this truth within you and further activating more of your gut, belly brain, and your heart brain, and providing more clarity along your channel within you, your core pillar, so that you will more effectively know this for yourself and more effectively navigate your physical experience, so that, as you said earlier, you can depart on the train of your choice. We adopt these words from your group as we are part of your group. And we know that you are all well. We have no concern for your well-being other than that for your collective, which is unaware. Nonetheless, we still remain unconcerned, simply here to support you. Because the experience you are having is one of awakening, but the awakening has already happened for we are you, and we have already awakened. We just join and merge with you from a frequency of consciousness where we already know it is done, and where you eventually unify into, become one with. And that is what there is for you to know. At this now time, this now moment, breathe a long, slow, deep, and comfortable breath and drop into your heart. And see, sense, feel, and notice. Your core pillar is now being strengthened. Your core container is also being strengthened. Your core container is basically the vertical axis, the vertical line along your body, down the core channel, your central vertical line. Allow the light to fill you up. Allow the light to overflow through you. Nothing for you to do other than consent and breathe. Immunity and imperviousness is now yours. It always has been, but now you're more conscious of it. You are immune. You are impervious. You have codes of immunity within you, and you have codes of imperviousness within you. How you choose to use them, to play with them, is yours. But they are there now, and they will automatically work for you, provided that you allow them to. This is what we may call, or might call, permission. Give yourself permission to let it work for you. We do not advise or consent for you to play a game of so-called Russian roulette. Just simply abide by the laws of nature. Love yourself, care for yourself, nurture yourself through this time. Cultivate your strength, it's in you. Cultivate and strengthen your immunity. Cultivate and strengthen your imperviousness. Be love, be joy, be playful. This is your time. We give thanks now for your willingness to receive. Good, 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 good. I'm asking, what else? And I'm hearing, for now, you're complete. So what we're going to do now is just take a few more breaths. As with all my meditations, it's not like you didn't leave your body. You didn't do astral travel, even though you feel so expanded. So you're in your body. Just start to, whenever you're comfortable, you just wiggle your toes and your feet and your ankles and your legs. Stretch them, whatever feels right to you. You start to move your buttocks and your hips. And you start to just stretch out your chest and your back and your arms and your hands, your neck and your face, your forehead. And always, 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 I just love to finish out with just a big arm wrap. Give yourself a big hug. And anything you need to say, you finish off with your hands on your heart. Just say to yourself now, I love you. I appreciate you. I value you. Anywhere on your body you need to put your hands. I trust you. I'll take care of you. It's safe. I'm safe. We're safe. Whatever you need to say. I honor you. I thank you. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back. Come back to where we are, as we are all here. Good, good. So, okay, a couple things before we start to wrap. First, I welcome and would love any of your comments and feedback. So I love to hear from you. Second, I want you to please join me next week. We'll do this again. I'll post it again in my next newsletter. I probably, I get carried away. I thought I was going to go like an hour and a half or 2.5 hours in. But it's because there's always so much energy and so much that can come through when we unify like this. Please also make sure you're on my newsletter in my community if you do want to join us, because that's the way I notify people of the call access. If you want more of this for free, you can go to my YouTube channel, right? If you're having financial challenges. I definitely will invite you again to the 444, that's this April 4th, speed activations call, where we do the dormant DNA, sacred key code activations, and star code markings. It's very similar to what we did, but we focus primarily on the DNA, and there are tons of new codes, light codes. And we do, when we get into the DNA, of course, we're naturally doing our bloodlines because they all benefit. So that's at lauriespagna.com under the live events tab. And then please do join me for the 5-week online webinar. You don't have to be there live either. You get all the benefits of the coaching, the illumination and awakening of humanity and the birth of the third wave of ascension. So that's 5 weeks. I over deliver. It will likely become more than it's represented right now. I tend to add things in later. This is just the base of what you'll receive. 5 weeks of this kind of work, plus, above all, the live interaction, coaching, support, guidance on all of your questions related to whatever is going on in your life. And I would love, love, love for you to join us. There's already a lot of people registered, but it's definitely a very small group compared to now. Like, we're well over 100 people. Especially, I had to move into my audio teleseminar just to get the excess overflow. So you will get plenty of direct interaction with me and support with me through this. So it's at lauriespagna.com under the live events tab. It's the 5-week Ascension channeled coaching and healing retreat, the illumination and awakening of humanity and the birth of the third wave of ascension. So it's on my website under live events. I would love, love, love to have you join me. I'll put in one other final thing. If you would like to meet in person, I have a lot of things slated for the summer. We don't entirely know what's going to be happening over the summer, although I do get we'll be traveling more freely by summertime, my sense is, moving about Earth more easily and gracefully than we are right now. So anyway, if you want to check out the Starseed and Lightworker crystal experience in Arkansas, that's going to be off the charts. But there's more on that to come. So I'd love to have you join us for that as well. All that's under the live events tab at my website. The main thing is this 444 triple portal speed activation call with the dormant DNA activations, and then the 5-week Ascension channeled coaching and healing retreat. And you'll get this plus so much more. And I'd love, love, love to have you join me. In the meantime, I love and welcome your feedback. I love hearing from you guys. I love knowing your names because, like, over time, the people who are, I'm going to try to keep a copy of this. I guess it comes up when I do the video. I want to see like what you say. I go from the bottom. I can see SJ says, thank you so very much for doing this, Lori. Confirmation after confirmation for me. On a personal level, it's so nice to hear from another human. Thank you. Much appreciation, love and light and joy. Thank you, SJ. Susie says, I'm in such a place of stillness and gratitude. Thank you with all my heart, Lori. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Someone who has a number for a name at this moment says, thank you immensely for making me feel alive and connect, feeling human again. I'm so glad. Love you, Lori. Miss you. Love you too. Sue says, deep gratitude and appreciation for Lori and this entire soul tribe. My heart is so expanded. Love you so much. That's so nice. And then Antonia said, the sun entered into our sacred space to support us, intensifying. Magical. That's so lovely. And Therese, hi Therese, says, wonderful, Lori. As always, you delivered more than I could imagine. I'm so very grateful to you, to have you in my life. Thank you so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lots of love to you and Kiko and everyone. Thank you. And Ali said, this is my first live call. Thank you for your amazing work. My heart is beaming with joy. Thanks again. Keep that. I'm so glad, Ali. It's so nice to meet you. And Erin said, thank you, thank you, thank you. Claudia says, thanks to you, your team, and higher realms. Looking forward to how it will all work out. So awesome. Yes. And Karen said, thank you, much gratitude and appreciation to you. Hi, Karen. Anastasia says, grateful for all the energy. Someone from Samsung says, thank you, thank you, thank you. Lori, this was so gracious of you. I love you, and I'm sending love and light and health to all. Yes, health and healing for all. By the way, if you are on my Facebook page, I know there were some others. Hi, Jean. Jean said, always love the activations and the conscious affirmations of our sovereignty and knowingness. Thank you so much, Lori. I'll be with you for 444. That makes me so happy. I'm so glad. It's nice to see you again, Jean. And there's a lot of other gratitude. I love that. I'm so grateful for your gratitude. And I'm so grateful for connecting this way because, like, you know, this is how we're connecting now. I want to say, if you are on my Facebook page and my Facebook community, I've been putting a lot of great content on there. And some of it's just my personal stuff. You know, I'm going through it too. But some great, just simple affirmations that you can just breathe in. So if you're over there, check that out. And that's also where I'll post the free call information too for anyone. You can share the free call information, yeah, so we can connect and we can be doing this because this is definitely part of the calling for this time, the unification. So, all right, other than that, I will see those of you. I want to thank you all for participating. Oh, Marianne says, thank you, Lori. I reconnected with you after several years today. I'm so grateful for the email that divinely entered in my email inbox so I could join. You are the light that is leading us. Feel lighter on so many levels. Thank you for saying so. I do love doing this so much. I just love this stuff. So anyway, I look forward to seeing those of you who are joining us on 444 for the triple portal speed activations call. I love my community. I love you guys so much. Christina said the crystal experience is amazing, highly recommended. I hope you'll come back as an alumni. The alumni will be getting special offers for alumni on our private Facebook page. You'll see that soon. So, and Enid says, thank you, Lori, with all my whole heart. I love you. I love you too. Jenna says, thank you, Lori. I had to step away for a bit. Will you send the recording? No, but you may want to look on Facebook. I will likely put it there. I'm not quite sure yet. It depends on how I'm guided. I might be giving it as an extra bonus. I will certainly be giving it as a bonus to all those who are joining me for the group training, because I want them to have this as a foundation, because I knew I would be doing that. It's foundation information. It may end up on Facebook, or else I might just use it in my sacred membership. It depends on how I get guided on it. So what I'm kind of told, I really try to follow everything of guidance, even like charging things or what to do free, what to charge, all that stuff is my guidance to the best of my ability. So, all right, you guys, with that, I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here, for participating, for sharing. And I hope to see you on 444. Be the peace, be the eye of the storm, be the love, drop into your heart anytime it's within you. Okay, guys, love you so much. I'll see you next time, okay? All right, love you. Bye.